This is what happens to programs who reload and don't rebuild. Their staffers are picked off as future coaches at different schools. Their assistants and quality control coaches are picked off to be position coaches or coordinators at different schools. Oregon is now a reload program, and losing Will Stein and Tosh Lupoi to Kentucky and California show that Oregon is at the top and that Oregon is only moving in a right direction. Elite staffs constantly have turnover. And how do they respond? By promoting from within when appropriate or bringing someone from the outside when appropriate and continuing that lineage of an elite staff. And the head coach at the head of the staff, in this case Oregon's Dan Lanning, slowly builds out his coaching tree. I'm excited to see how Tosh Lupoi does at Cal, how Will Stein does at Kentucky. I think both were good hires. I think for obvious scheduling reasons, it's more likely that Lupoi is going to succeed at Cal than Stein will at Kentucky, but we'll see. Oregon has done a good job developing and evolving as a staff, as a program. I have no reason to believe why they wouldn't now that they've lost their DC and OC to different schools as head coaches. As I mentioned earlier, Lanning is building out his coaching tree. He officially has one now. It's a good thing for Oregon, and it's not bad. As yes, maybe you lose some top recruiters or staffers and you have to figure out how to replace them, but it's also a reference to future players and guys in the transfer portal and just different coaches too, as to who the best in the business are. You know, if I want to be a head coach, I go to Oregon and I work under Lanning, or I go to Ohio State and I work under Ryan Day. I work under Kurt Cignetti at Indiana. I work under Kirby Smart at Georgia, for example. This is a good thing that he's building on a coaching tree. It's the same thing with Hartline going to USF. Might be a little bit different because losing the greatest position coach of all time in Hartline probably has more repercussions than losing Will Stein or Tosh Lupoi, as good as they are. But I still think it can be a good thing for Brian Hartline and Ohio State and Ryan Day. This channel will make you a college football expert and help you enjoy watching games and make more accurate predictions. So what are you waiting for? Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, comment your thoughts, and watch the video all the way through so that you can get the full package. And check the description and pinned comment for more ways to help yourself, as this can be a good thing for Tosh Lupoi, Will Stein, the Oregon football program, and for Dan Lanning. Oregon reloaded in 2025. That, along with these moves, shows they're at the top. So Oregon returned around 5 starters. Less than Ohio State, less than Texas, less than Georgia. And they won 11 games. And they're power rate ahead of 2 of those teams. And they're within, at least according to FPI, enough margin of error from Ohio State to where, say they win it all, and they could finish the year number 1. And there is a chance that Oregon can win the national title this year, if they're healthy and at full strength. They reloaded. They are as good as they were last year, in my opinion. There's a chance, depending on how they play in the playoffs, that they could be better. Despite losing as much as they did, being as young as they are at certain positions, it's impressive. Their scouting, their development, their coaching, it's off the charts. This is one of the top programs in football now and moving forward. To lose all of those players and to upgrade on the offensive line, quarterback, running back, to upgrade at tight end, to have higher upside at receiver when healthy, and to upgrade on the linebacker group, DB, and special teams. The only position I think they downgraded at was defensive line. That was it. But they upgraded at defensive end there, just downgraded at D tackle, I think. And their secondary and defensive backfield is so much better, to where their defense is better than it was last year. As I already mentioned, they've upgraded at different spots: running back, O-line, linebacker, DB, and special teams. And they have a lot more upside at quarterback. They can stop the run now. Last year, they really struggled at stopping the run. This year, that's one of their trademarks, is they give up about 2 to 3 yards, and then they stop you right there. Their special teams is better. Atticus Sappington's been a better kicker this year than last year. Their punting game has been very solid. Their return game has been solid. And I've seen development from certain players too, where Malik Benson came in and he wasn't super good at Florida State or Alabama, and Oregon helps develop him into a receiver that might be drafted after all. And looking forward to next year, because Oregon, they don't only have this year to win it all. They're recruiting at the level of Ohio State, Georgia, Texas, Alabama, and now even Notre Dame, to a point where they'll have an opportunity to win it all every year. There won't really be a natty or bust year for Oregon because of how well they recruit. But 2026 is a big year for them because they'll return most of the team. They could bring back draft eligible players even with the pockets they have and the fact that I don't think a lot of Oregon's players have maximized their draft potential. They'll return most of their team, and while having a schedule with challenges, they got to play at USC and at Ohio State, for example. Once again, they should be able to win 10 games, maybe even win 11. There's a path for them to go 12-0 as there was this year and as they did last year. And they could win it all next year and be even better or much better than they are this year. They're already at the top of the sport right now. I wanted to praise Oregon, make this segment, and talk about the coaching moves and what it means for Oregon in a positive way, because I'm high on Lanning. I'm high on his staff. I have absolute faith that they'll reload. I think that Chris Hampton will make a wonderful defensive coordinator, and they've already shown roster-wise they can reload. They've shown at different points coaching-wise, too, that they can reload. I mean, they lose Carlos Lachlan to Ohio State, and they've still been really good at running back since then. They lost their wide receivers coach to the NFL. They brought in Ross Douglas from Syracuse, and they've done an all-right job developing there, I think, this year. So, they are a reload program, and I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt with their hires and with their returning production and with their team. Thank you for watching. It's my mission on College Football with Sam to make you the most informed, knowledgeable, and entertained fan as possible. We aren't perfect, but we hit the nail on the head more often than we hit our thumb with the hammer. Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, comment, and if you're here, you've probably already watched the whole video. So thank you for doing those things.